Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because he really is whatever me. And do you folks want to know about this DA suing the federal government over the gun ban for medical marijuana patients? You guys stick around, man, and we'll talk about that. As you guys know, I am the Whatever Guy, and I usually shoot videos a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp cannabis, just what's going on around. And today, man, sitting here on early Tuesday morning, sitting here bullshitting around, talking about this DA that's actually suing the federal government about this gun ban on medical marijuana patients. For those of you that don't realize, in the state of Alabama, as we move forward with this Alabama medical cannabis debacle that we have going on, my whole goal behind this, I'm someone that's probably never going to go ahead and grab a medical marijuana card simply because I can get all the products I need from the hemp side of the space. And that's where I work. That's where I run. And my idea is that sooner or later, we will get to a point in Alabama where we will have home grow and possibly recreational down the road. That's where I'm looking at it as, because, personally, I'm not going to spend the money to go to a doctor, excuse me, and spend those exorbitant fees at a dispensary when I can get the same products that I need at the companies that I work for, like this hemp-derived Delta 9 cart that I'm hitting this morning. But having said that, there is, for those of you who don't realize, when we move forward with it, when we finally get to a point where we've got medical marijuana on the shelf in Alabama, those people out there that have medical marijuana cards are going to be under a federal gun ban. And in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, like, how is that going to work in like the state of Alabama where every fucking buddy owns a gun? Like, everybody owns guns. Like, I personally hope that I will never have to use a gun again, but I personally probably got 150 guns in my house, locked up in a safe. So like, every person out there in Alabama owns a gun, and I'm still trying to figure out like how this federal gun ban is going to work moving forward. But as it stands right now, those of you out there that are looking at this medical marijuana program, you do realize that when you apply for that medical marijuana card, that you can't own a gun anymore. Like, there is a federal ban on guns right now, and it's a crazy situation. So we're going to take a look at this article over here, and they're actually suing the federal government right now to try to get this ban thrown out. And it looks like, from what I'm hearing in other news, that we would possibly, the Supreme Court is looking at possibly taking up this case right here, and hopefully we can get this shot down long before we get to a point where we can actually get medical marijuana on the shelf. Like, it's going to be a long time before we ever get medical marijuana on the shelf in Alabama. As a matter of fact, if we push it off to the legislature, what I'm hearing right now is as opposed to opening it up in free markets, they may just kill the program altogether. Like, that's the rumor that I'm hearing. Like, rather than deal with this and open it up free markets and get to that point, the Republican side of the House and legislature is really considering just abolishing the whole medical marijuana program from the very beginning and just killing it and sitting back and wait till federal regulation hits. But that's just rumors that I'm hearing. But having said that, let's take a look at this article and see what they say. This is actually a Pennsylvania district attorney sues federal government over gun ban for medical marijuana patients. A Pennsylvania district attorney and gun rights advocates have filed a lawsuit in federal court seeking to overturn the ban preventing medical marijuana patients from buying and possessing firearms, the latest in a series of legal challenges to the policy. Warren County, Pennsylvania District Attorney Robert Green, a registered medical marijuana patient in the state, teamed up with the Second Amendment Foundation to file suit against the federal government in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania on Tuesday. This comes as the question over the constitutionality of federal gun ban for people who use marijuana is now before the U.S. Supreme Court, which is considering taking up the issue. The new lawsuit names U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, as well as the heads of the FBI and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives as defendants. This represents what the lead attorney for the plaintiffs believes to be the first civil rather than criminal challenge to the federal statute. Green's participation in this case is especially notable. The court filing states that the local prosecutor intends to lawfully purchase, possess, and utilize firearms and ammunition so that he may exercise his constitutional rights to keep and bear arms for self-defense and all other lawful purposes. But he's barred from doing so under the federal statute because of this status as a state certified medical cannabis patient. The prosecutor announced last month that he will not be seeking re-election and will be turning his focus to advocacy on medical cannabis patient rights issues. Unlike the various previous court cases challenging the constitutionality of the gun ban for plaintiffs who have been criminally prosecuted, with a civil suit like this, you're looking at a challenge on behalf of the people that are just asserting that this prohibition is unconstitutional, either on its face or as applied. As applied, meaning to that individual only. Adam Knott, lead attorney for the plaintiff and executive director of SES, told Marijuana Moment on Tuesday. What I'm hoping is not only to win in our lawsuit in our lawsuit, but that it sparks the federal Congress to do something and solve this problem, because you have millions of Americans who are disenfranchised from their Second Amendment rights, being forced to choose either between treating their symptoms with medical marijuana or exercising their constitutionally guaranteed right. That's not acceptable. Like, guys, that's exactly what you guys us in Alabama are going to have to consider as we move forward with this medical marijuana program in the state of Alabama. We are all wanting the medical marijuana to come forward in the state. But having said that, how many people are actually going to want to go out there and actually get a medical marijuana card? Like, there's not a single person that I know in Alabama that doesn't own a gun. Like, there's just not. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't conceive that someone that lives in Alabama doesn't own a gun. Like, that's just a way of life. Like, when I was a kid growing up, guns were in every corner. We were raised that every gun is a loaded gun because unloaded guns kill people. And I used to drive to school every day with a gun, a loaded shotgun in the back glass rack of my truck, parked in the parking lot of the school with the windows down on a hot summer day. Like, that was the way of life in Alabama, and that's still going on today to some extent, even though the times and all that have kind of changed. They're not hauling around in their back glass anymore, but you can damn sure guarantee that they've got that shotgun laying in the back seat or up behind the flip seat of their truck. Like, there's just nobody in Alabama that I don't know owns a gun. And if this right here doesn't force you over to the illegal side, I don't know what will. Like, who would want to go out and get a medical marijuana card so they can tell you that you can't own guns? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, and here's the other thing too. Like, when you go down and file for this medical marijuana card, like, if you have registered guns, they're going to know that you've got those registered guns. Like, and you basically got to turn those in when you get this medical marijuana card going on. So I don't know anybody that in Alabama is going to do that right there. And that's a crazy situation. And hopefully the Supreme Court will take this up and will side on the side of the voters. All right, folks, whatever got signing off, and I will talk to you guys later, man. Love it. See ya.